Well, welcome you guys back into my next video over here, which is my course 7. I have over 350 courses now, and all 1 hour and more long. You understand that? It's about multiplication today. I need you to understand that multiplication is number 1. I need you to understand that everything is related to number 1. You see 50 million? You never need that. You need number 1. Probably you need number 1 today, because number 1 will make you the 50 million. You have to understand that number 1 theory is the 1 rule, which states you must grow. You must grow today to be number 1. Understand that when you're number 1, you put yourself first. Probably that's the best number. Probably the best number is put yourself first, because there's no other numbers that's important today. And you understand that multiplication methods is also making sure that you understand your time management today, because you have 24 hours in a day, and you have to understand that in that day you may be working a 9 to 5 job. You may be a person who's working a 9 to 5 job today. You may be working 40 hours a week. You have to understand that you have the number 100 and your age. You have to understand that in between, you have a certain number. You have to understand that you have to multiply how many hours you work for the rest of your life. You have to multiply it by 100, and you understand how much time that is. You understand that no matter what, that multiplication is really study to make sure that you understand numbers. And you should understand that numbers is everything in wisdom. You have to understand that wisdom is going to grow you. You have to understand that wisdom is everything in terms of multiplication that you need. You just need more numbers in terms of wisdom. You have to understand you have to teach it, you have to be it. You have to understand you have to do more in terms of numbers. You have to understand that numbers is everything that's going to help you to gain a better time management. Otherwise, it's not about the money you're working for. Otherwise, it's about how much freedom in terms of time do you have. I need you to understand it's really about time freedom. I need you to understand that you have to have more time in your day to have a better multiplication in your life. Probably that my only time method today is freedom. Probably that only multiplication in life is freedom. I'm making sure I'm always free to deal, or realize I'm always free to deal with life in a better way. I'm always making sure I'm dealing in a better way to do something very promotional, to make sure that I'm always living life to a better ability. Because guess what? When I live life to the best of my ability, I'm doing better multiplication by actually just making sure that I do financial attitude much better. I realize that financial attitude has got to do with inputting each and every single one of your numbers into a financial calculator to make sure you see where your numbers are going. Because if you don't know where your numbers are going, I never need you to know, I need you to see where your numbers are going. Because that's what the difference is. I never need you to know numbers, I need you to see everything. I need you to know nothing in life. I never need you to know yourself, I need you to know yourself more. I need you to understand to know yourself more is to have more multiplication in your life. I need you to understand that when you compound interest in life, you'll understand to go and do 3 hours of video for the next 73 years, because I'll be 101, and guess what, when I'm turning 101, guess what's going to happen? I realize that I'll have so much more knowledge to give you, because I'll be doing 3 hours a day for the next 73 years on the street, and guess what? That's called multiplication, and that's called compound interest. Thank you very much. Otherwise, you have to be a person who understands to live longer than 101 and be more than everything in life. You have to understand it's really about numbers, and numbers is how you look today. I promise you it's how you also lead your life. I promise you it's about habits. I promise you habits is everything about your time, and time management is numbers. So make sure you understand where your finances are going and the date today, and also make sure no matter what you're number 1 today, because guess what? You have to relate numbers together, and to relate numbers together is to really make sure your numbers are going up throughout time. So when your numbers are going out throughout time, you understand that you're going to do some more courses today to grow. You have to understand it's about courses, you have to understand it's about wisdom, because the only aspect of multiplication in life is growth. I promise you it's number 1. You only remember number 1 is multiplication. I promise you there's no other number that's important. I promise you that number 1 and growth is important. I promise you that's multiplication. I promise you that's compound interest. I promise you that's all the interest in the world you ever need. I promise you that when they try to confuse you with numbers, I promise you can never be confused when you're communicating more. I promise you that communicating more is something of economics. I promise you economics is communication. And when you understand communication, you understand the world. I promise you to understand the world is to see it, and to understand that you're going to be a person today who's more confident, because that's multiplication. I promise you that more confidence means more multiplication today. And you should understand that timetables is confidence. And you should understand to compound your life with confidence today. And you should understand that confident people are contentment people. You understand that contentment is found inside. And those people who look inside, I promise you that those people who look inside for greatness are the ones saying, I'm greatness today. I thank you very much. Well, you need to be that type of person. You need to be that type of person who understands compound interest in favor of your integrity. And understand that numbers has everything to do with integrity. Probably those people who live the talk are the ones who have better multiplication. Probably they're the ones who have more time freedom. Probably they're the ones who are financially free and personally free and interdependent. You need to be that kind of person who understands multiplication is number one today. You have to understand that the one rule is stick to the one in life. I mean, we're the number one people in life. You have to understand, you have to be around number one people. Or else the number two people will never matter. I need to understand that number two people are the ones who were worse than yesterday. I need to understand to go be around the number one people today because that will teach you something. I need to understand when I look at number one people, I say that guy or that woman or that person is better than yesterday. I see a number one person, I go to learn from them because they got some courses to give me. Unfortunately, got some multiplication methods and ideas, which is all multiplication. Unfortunately, it's all the timetables. Unfortunately, ideas of wisdom and courage and also public speaking and doing more content every single day. It's all multiplication. You need more multiplication today than ever. And it's just read more. You have to read more, you have to learn more, you have to learn faster. You have to understand the numbers always goes up. Unfortunately, the number one is the biggest number. And you should understand when you think numbers, thank you very much. Thank you. Unfortunately, when you think numbers, you're thinking in the moment. Unfortunately, I can never slow down. I have to speed up my communication so I can grow. I have to grow. I never slow down. I can never slow down for other people. I have to boost my communication to speak faster and faster so I can grow faster and faster. Unfortunately, that's the whole point. Unfortunately, the whole point is making sure that you understand that no matter what you're doing, you have to speak faster and you have to read faster because that's called multiplication. Unfortunately, it's called compound interest. And what compound interest does over time is the more you plan, unfortunately, the more of a backup plan you have. Unfortunately, the backup is success. Unfortunately, that when you fall into success. Unfortunately, that's called multiplication. Unfortunately, multiplication methods is called plan 24 hours a day on how to improve your life. Unfortunately, that's the only way to multiply. You multiply your freedom. You multiply everything. You understand? You multiply your growth. You multiply giving. You multiply your heart to be greater. Unfortunately, that's multiplication. I'm rich or better is also multiplication. I say I'm rich or better. I see Jack Canfield taught me that. Because he says that when you put an I am statement, I realize I'm a statement that is much better than yesterday. I realize that is multiplication. I realize I'm greater than who I am. I realize that when you understand multiplication, you're going to look better and feel better and understand better. You have to understand to see better is to understand that no matter what you're doing throughout life, you can always do better with a financial calculator and a calculator to time yourself. And how long do you have to walk to that place? Because it's your life. I mean, you have to read something along the way too, because that's multiplication. Portia, that's called multitasking. Portia, you need to multitask more. You have to understand that multitasking is multiplication. And those people who read and walk at the same time will understand multiplication and multitasking. I promise you that you need to multitask while you're walking and while you're driving. You have to understand you have to write while you walk. You have to understand that you have to also record your video and speak on a microphone and look at people, because that's multiplication right there. You understand what multiplication is. I'm recording, I'm speaking on the microphone, I'm looking at people, I look at my posture too. Posture, that's already multiplication right there. Posture, that's growth. Posture, that's compound interest. Because I'm doing 4 things at once right now. I'm recording, I'm speaking on the microphone, I'm looking at you, thank you very much. I also make sure to study myself, my self-awareness. I'm doing 4 methods in one right now, because that's multiplying my efforts. You have to multiply your efforts. And I'm also promoting myself. I realize that's 5 ways of doing something right now. You have to understand, you have to do more and more throughout time. You have to understand, I have so much to do, and guess what? I have an Instagram, which is also going to show you 5,000 images of myself. And guess what? It's worth it. You have to understand that 5,000 images of myself in Instagram, you can go and find it. You'll understand why I love myself so much. You'll understand that when you have 300 courses of hours, you understand multiplication. You understand that each and every time you do 3 hours, you're going to grow. You're going to grow in front of people. I realized that today, I have 10,000 people walking like this. I realized that's multiplication, because over 13 days that I've been speaking on the street, I've done 39 hours of public speaking. I realized that's around 5 days of working in terms of 8 hours a day. Thank you very much. I realized that for the past 5 days, I've been just speaking in terms of 8, I realized 9 to 5 work. I realized although I'm better than 9 to 5 work, I'm doing something better. I understand that 36 hours, or 39 hours a day is something great in terms of communication where you can do it in 30 days. I realize that it's something of growth. I realize it's something of interest. I realize that interest is something to consider every single day. I realize it's only that you understand that you go and teach what's to come in this video. You have to understand you teach from where you are. You never teach the repeated information. You teach what you can to grow in this moment. You always teaching and repeating, although you understand you have to teach more than you repeat. You have to understand to repeat is to teach more and more and more throughout time, because that way you'll grow and grow to become a better human person today in a baby format. You understand? You have to be a baby today. I'm a baby. I'm aging like a baby all the time. I'm never an adult. I'm not an adult. I'm never an adolescent. I'm not a teenager. I'm a baby throughout time. I'm feeling younger and younger and younger because that's called multiplication. Multiplication is key because it's compound interest in your favor to make sure that no matter what you're doing, you're always going to do something better than who you are today, because that's going to make sure that you're greater. I'm always doing something for something greater, making sure that my numbers are rolling up. I realized that 3 years ago, I have $150 every single day. I realized that 2 years ago, I have $2,100 every single day. I realized that now I have $3,500 every single day. I realize that's called compound interest. And I need to understand that you need to be that kind of person who has more money throughout time. You need more money because guess what? I realized that when I had 20 bucks a day only, I realized that it never felt good. I realized that what felt good is right now. You have to understand, I feel good right now. I feel good right now because I'm growing in my emotions. I'm growing in my maturity. That's all the multiplication you ever need. You just need more maturity every single day, because when you're growing with your interest, which is your growth, and which is your intention to intentionally grow. You have to intentionally grow. I realize that here I am, speaking and communicating and communicating and communicating. I promise you it's going to grow me because I am linking information with information, and that's called compound interest. I realize that's what's compound in my life to make sure I grow in multiplication, because the more your numbers, I promise you, the more your wisdom. I promise you have to understand that numbers has got everything to do with communication. And when you're communicating more, you also have better multiplication skills. You will also understand the timetable better when you understand you have 300 courses of hours you've taught somebody. I promise you that is something of a timetable, because it's 300 times 300. You have to understand. You'll understand what that means in terms of wisdom. You have to learn, you have to grow, you have to yearn to grow. You have to understand, to yearn to grow is to learn right now what it is you need, which is this moment, to understand that you need growth every single day to multiply and multiply and multiply your life. You understand, you have to multiply your life in a better way than you've never done before. You have to understand there's always a better way to what you're doing. So understand that no matter what throughout time, that if you're working a 9-to-5 job, you have to understand that it's 40 hours of your life. You have to understand that it's 17 years you're going to work up to hundreds. Whereas that 73 years of working 40 hours a week, you understand that's 17 years of your life. You have to understand, I've cut it down to freedom. Whereas I never have to work a 9-to-5 job. Whereas I thank you very much. Whereas since you understand that you have to complicate nothing, you never compilate, you just capitulate something. You have to understand, to capitulate is to understand a much greater way to speak. Because vocabulary skills and how much vocabulary words you have is multiplication skills. Promise you have to understand communication skills in order to multiply. Promise you have to multiply in a way that you understand that numbers has got everything to do with how much vocabulary can you put out into a one video that's 1 hour long. Promise you that when you have better multiplication skills, you may be able to do 20,000 words in 1 hour. I may be able to do 100,000 words in 1 hour. Or else that's multiplication. Or else who's going to be more successful? Or else it's going to be the one who has more words in 1 hour. Or else when you have more words in 1 hour, you're going to be growthy. You're going to be a person who's growing. You're going to be a person who's making sure that you're going to erupt into success. You have to understand, to succeed, realize that to succeed is to erupt into yourself. You go into yourself, you're much happier than yesterday. I promise you that's compound interest and that's multiplication. I promise you that everything in life is looking greater in life. I promise you it's being better than yesterday. I promise you when you're better than yesterday, you've achieved what you came here to do, because you're better than yesterday. Now it's helping other people to get better than yesterday. I promise you need to learn multiplication and how to speak it much more and more, so you understand that multiplication has got everything to do with yourself becoming the greatest possible human in the planet. You have to understand that is key to your life. You have to understand to go and read some more information to do so, because the more hours you put in, I promise you the more you get back in return. You have to understand it's really what you sow is what you reap. You have to understand that those people who understand numbers are the ones who go to the Woolworths or go to the supermarket and they get something and they invest and they never waste, and they understand what they're getting and they understand every single particle that's in that food. I promise you that's called multiplication. I promise you that's called understanding. I promise you that's called wisdom. You have to be wise. You have to be a wise person. I promise you, you never say nothing. You say something all the time. You just raise your voice. You need to speak up more and more. You have to be a person who's speaking up more and more to understand more theory behind timetables, which is this moment. You have to understand that timetables and simplifying is very easy. You just go and see a number, you just say it's number 1. That matters. Or else that 2 times 2 times 2 times 500 times 50,000 means 1. Or else I'm number 1. I don't care about the complex theories, I just care about number 1. Or else that's the easiest way to do anything in life. 100 times 500 divided by 50,000 is 1. You understand? Because that's simplification. That's simplification. You have to simplify everything. You have to understand, to simplify your life. And you have to understand that 1 is the best number. The 1 is everything. I promise you the 1 is going to get you further than everything ever will. You have to understand that. You guys have to understand that no matter what happens, you be a person of theory in terms of knowledge where you can understand to apply it first. You have to apply your knowledge. You have to apply who you are today more and more about what you're reading today. You have to learn the skills. You have to learn and dive into information because that's called taking action. And you understand that when you take action, you understand you're investing in it. You have to understand that you're going to be a person who understands multiplication theories by having more calculation methods where you're communicating more and more to make sure that you're doing more business. You have to do more business daily. You have to understand that life is to be made simply. And when you're a person who's simple, you're going to be a better person in the process. You're going to be a person who understands a much greater life. You're never negative, and that's all the compound interest in your favor. You have to understand it's really about positivity every single day. You have to understand it's about being something for nothing. I realize that you do something for nothing every single day. You never be nothing first. You be something first. I promise you that's what's important. I promise you when you need to make someone great, I promise you, you have to make yourself first and be great first. You have to understand you guys are great. I promise you, thank you very much. You have to understand that no matter what happens, each and every single day, you have to lead people and lead people and lead people. Because the more you lead, the more you can. You have to do it all the time. Thank you. You have to be that person who understands there's always a better way in what you're doing. You have to understand there's always something more that you can do today to increase your time and have time more freedom. You have to understand you have to have more time freedom. You have to have more time freedom in daily life to understand that your money must be raising and you must be a person who understands you never work for it. You only receive it freely. I promise you that this person's going to go somewhere and they're going to give you $100,000 because you are a person who understands some information to give them. And guess what? You just go give service first. You do service first and you understand that service first is everything. I promise you, when I say service first, I mean you give information and that's it. You never care about the money because the money is not important. I promise you what's important is helping first. You help first and that's how you be helped. You help yourself. I promise you always have to ask for help. I promise you when you're asking for help, you're helping yourself. You help yourself first. You have to ask for help. You need help. I promise you, I hear many people saying they don't need help. You need help. You need to help yourself. You need to help yourself to have more success. You need to help yourself to do better. You need to help yourself to ask yourself for more, to have yourself much more. You have to ask yourself to do more. And thank you very much. Otherwise, no matter what, each and every single time, you always have to understand there's always a better way to do something important. You have to be important every single day. You have to understand numbers. You have to understand numbers is mindset. And mindset is the heart. You have to understand that. You have to link information. And the more information you link, I promise you the better your communication skills. You have to link more and more to be more. You're linking information together. You're linking your interests. You're linking everything that's going to help you. You have to understand, you have to broaden your common sense because common sense is multiplication. You have to understand, you have to broaden every single aspect of your life and balance it to make a complication and simplification. You have to be simplified. You have to be number one. It's the best number. I promise you, the number one is the best number and the biggest number. I promise you. I promise you all the time. I promise you, you have to understand to be something greater than yourself. Because when you're greater than yourself, you'll be something very wise. You'll be wiser than before, and you'll understand that is the only simplification. I promise you that when you can grow, and you can grow, and you can grow, I promise you, you've made it much better. You've made it much better. You've never made it, you've made it much better. I promise you, you never arrive anywhere. You're just arriving in a better way. You're just arriving all the time. You're arriving in a better way all the time that's going to help you to grow. You have to understand that now since I can grow, I can understand my multiplication skills because I can see how to grow. I promise you, you need to get to that point where you can understand how to grow and grow yourself. You will make it much better. I promise you that is where you need to go, and it's information products that's going to get you there. I promise you that information is much more important than everything else. I promise you need more information today to be a better person than ever before. You need to be that person who understands there is always a better way to what you're doing, and information is how to do it. You read 1,000 words a day, I promise you you're better than the person who read 500 because now you're 500 times much more richer because you you are a person who's simplifying in terms of simplifying your life. You have to understand to really lift yourself. You have to lift yourself in a way that you understand the experience. And the more experience you have, the more compound interest you have. I thank you. Realize that it's really positive experiences from delayed gratification. You have to have delayed gratification in life. Understand delayed gratification is simplification. Promise you, those people who make complex in life are never teaching anything. I promise you, they are never teaching anything and they're never giving ideas. I promise you, they come to the table, and what they do is they sit on the table and they say, what are you going to give me today? You sit at the table and you say, here's what I got first. You just say, what I got over here is I'll give it to you. I don't care about what you have. Because what I have is much greater. Understand? What you have is much greater, so make sure you be greater today. Understand? When you come to the table, you never say, what can I do here today? You just say, here. You understand? You come there and you say, I'll give you something. You understand? You're going to give something today, I promise you that you're going to be much more free. You're going to be much more of a freedom person to understand there is a heart in you. You have to understand you have to be more vibrant. You have to always be better. Thank you. You have to be that kind of person who understands that vibrance and looking better and more energy is compound interest and it's multiplication. Thank you. You have to be that kind of person all the time. You have to understand that veganism is complication in terms of simplification. Realize that Complifying means this moment, so make sure that you complify this moment all the time so you understand that no matter what you're doing, you're going to be an interesting person today. So you understand that you go and use your words in an aspect, that you understand that whatever you're saying is going to bring up into the moment, and you're going to also intrigue and spark intriguement, which is entice people to understand numbers in number one. Because number one is everything. I mean, when you say 3, I see number 1. I only see number 1. I care about number 1 because the one rule today is be better than yesterday. Honestly, that's the only vision you have. Honestly, the only vision you have to achieve is be better than yourself. Honestly, that's the best. Because when you have $1 million and you're fat, honestly, that's not the way to go. Honestly, you need to always do better. You need to understand a better way of life. You need to understand that there is always a better way. You have to understand that you never get offended. Because when you get offended, you have too much complication. You have too much complication in your life. You have to understand that you never complicate matters with the ego. You stay away from the ego and toxic people, and you understand to simplify that way. You have to understand that time and energy is important, and you only give time and energy toward giving information. You only give information. Your only business today must be how much information you're giving. You have to give more, and that way you understand how to grow. You grow yourself in your information. You're doing information products every single day. You're doing something for nothing. I know nothing in life. I'm a person who knows nothing because I'm growing in my interest. I'm growing in my favor because I'm giving more. And that's the business. So thank you. You have to give more. You have to understand that when you give 300 hours of content, I'd rather listen to somebody who has 300 hours than no hours at all. You have to understand you have to give something. You have to become somebody in your field. You have to understand that whatever you're doing, you can become in your field the greatest in history. You just have to dedicate yourself for free. And do it for free. And do it for free because it's your passion. I mean, it's what you do. You have to do it for free. I do this for free. I do public speaking for free. I do motivational work for free. You have to understand that since I do this for free, I am a person who's living my talk. I live it for free. I never price my integrity for $1. I don't care about that. I don't care to teach you for money. I never teach you for money. I teach you for freedom. I teach you for free because we're friends here. I'm your friend. You understand that you're the point of life where you must understand your numbers so you can grow. You have to understand that your numbers is just how much have you taught today. I mean, how much have you taught today? You have to teach something for nothing. You have to understand that teaching something eventually is going to give you more. You have to understand more theory is now. You have to understand that you must take more action in the moment, to invest more action in the moment, to understand that whatever is helping you today is going to help you to absorb information today, so you understand it's you who must help you, and you must always arrive in a much better way. You have to understand that I realize when you're a person who's arriving in a better way, you understand you have to look at people in the process, and you have to understand to boost your quality of life, because that's complication in terms of complication in simplified manner. You have to understand you never simplify anything other. You have to understand you simplify everything, although you never complicate matters. You have to understand you never complicate. You have to understand that being in the moment is simplification. Realize that complifying is something to do with this moment. Although you understand that you understand your words and you understand your vocabulary, you be a person of interest. When you're a person of interest, you have your I factor. I promise you, I had a dream. I had a dream today to become better than yesterday. Guess what? I'm better than yesterday already. I've already achieved my dream. So how do I make sure to grow and grow and grow? I make sure to communicate more and communicate more and communicate more. I have to communicate more. I have to do better. I have to give my heart. I have to give my soul for free. Otherwise, I never do it for money. Otherwise, no matter what, you have over 350 courses of 300 hours and more inside my Instagram for free. I never price my material. Otherwise, that I'm worth more than $1 and $10. I thank you very much. You have to understand that you go and do much better. You have to understand that people are worth more than money. Thank you very much. You be that kind of person who understands that you need to do yourself a big favor, and you have to understand your words and vocabulary much better so you can understand what that is. You have to understand, you have to be that person who understands your life and your aspects of life to never complicate matters. You're never complicating anything. You're teaching in a greater way. You're boosting your mentality here, and you're understanding that wisdom is the way to go. Promise you, the wisdom is the way to be. Promise you, the wisdom is now. Promise you, you are all wisdom, and you are the wisdom of your life. You have to understand that you are the 5 people you surround yourself with, which is information. You have to understand that the better information, I promise you, the better your life. I promise you have to change your thoughts to change your life, and to do that, you need more information. You need more information. You need more information. Thank you very much. You need to be that kind of person, because guess what? You give people attention, I promise you, it is going to multiply. You have to multiply freedom. You have to understand that nothing's complex. I promise you that when you say you have a problem, you're complicating it. You remove the problems. I promise you that you create a list of problems and you remove it from your life. I promise you that whatever your problems are, you say you have no problems in life, because there is no problem. I promise you there's no problem in this moment. I promise you it's just that you need to boost your mentality and become a better person in the process, because that's multiplication. You have to understand that 9 times 9 means 1. You have to understand that 9 times 50,000 is 1. You have to understand it's really easy to understand what 1 is, because 1 is better than yesterday. You understand? You just be better than yesterday, because 55,500 times 2 is 1. You understand that 1 is the best number. I mean, 556 times 50,000 times 200 is 1. Portion of 1 is better than yesterday. You understand? That is an important aspect of life, and that's what multiplication is, guys. Understand that multiplication is planning. I realize that when I wake up, I realize I have to do certain stuff a certain way. I realize that I only have to pump music after my speech. I realize that's the only time I pump music with my beautiful speaker over here, which is my portable speaker. And guess what? Once I do that, I'm never a person who's materialistic. And that way I understand my spirituality, that this will never satisfy me, and this microphone will never satisfy me. I understand what satisfies me is what's coming out of me. You understand? So I'm a person who's always giving information in a different way to make sure I'm doing something on video to help teach you every single day. I'm doing it every single day, 3 hours, and at a time I'm going to capitulate a better way. You understand? A better way is teach more. You understand? There's always a better way to understand. You can do better, and you can understand. You can understand and can do much more in this moment. I mean, there's no such thing as complified. You understand? You just go, never complicate anything, and that way you understand. You go and do better. You understand? You go and learn your words, and the words is now. You understand? You go and do something that's really great today, which is multiplication in 1. You understand? Thank you very much. To be that kind of person who understands to multiply your life. You're multiplying your life in a way that you understand that no matter how much money you have, I promise you it'll never make you happy. I promise you what makes you happy is how many courses have you given today? How many aspects of life have you taught today? I realize that today, tens and thousands of people have passed me by and seen my face and my legacy. Because guess what? In 10 years' time, I promise you they're going to be saying, I don't understand you. You were the guy on the street in Brisbane. I am right now, although you understand that 10 years is going to be now. You have to understand that you guys will see me eventually. I will just grow and multiply and multiply and multiply through more information giving. I understand that is the whole point of living a successful life. You have to understand you push into the moment, you push into freedom, you push into emotional giving. You have to give your emotions, you have to give your heart. You have to understand you're giving freedom. You have to be never on autopilot. And then you should on autopilot, and you should understand that autopilot means egotistical people. And you should understand that you need to take control of your life. You have to be on the offense. You have to understand that to improve your life, you have to be on offense about your life. And you have to understand that whatever you're doing in life, you have to be a person who is never lying and live your talk. And be a person who understands to smile more and be more incredible. Because that way you understand a better freedom lifestyle in you. You have to understand you have freedom today. You have to understand that I've never met a person who's fat that is vegan. I promise you that veganism is the way to go to lose weight. I promise you that's the best way. Because I'm a vegan, I lost 47 kilos. And you should understand that I just study more and more throughout time. And you should understand that you go and be somebody very beautiful today. Because you guys are beautiful. And understand that you just never be a person who is trouble. I never need you to trouble, because trouble people are complication. I need to understand when you see a complication, you understand people who can never communicate. I'm pretty sure those people who never communicate are the ones who are cheating. They're probably cheating in life, probably they're cheating themselves, probably they're hypocrites, and probably they're blasphemy. Probably they're too much of a liar in life. I never need you to be a liar, because that's complication. I need you to simplification. I need you to understand number 1 is be better than yesterday. And that's the truth. Probably the truth is the best. The truth is this moment. You have to understand that truth shall set you free. You understand? Now those people who understand the truth, understand how to grow. You have to grow, you have to grow, you have to grow your skills all the time. You have to be more beautiful, you have to do more. You have to understand there's always more you can do. You have to understand there's always more that you can inspire to be. And when you're inspiring, you'll be more inspiring. You have to be more inspiring. So you inspire other people to be more inspiring. You have to understand that's the best way. I thank you very much. You be that kind of person who understands freedom. You catch people's attention, you entice them, you give them for free, you give them your heart, you give them a connection signal, you say you're beautiful, and that way you understand you're going to grow. You have to understand that better communication skills equals better multiplication. And better multiplication equals number one theory, which is better than yesterday. You be better than yesterday today because that's multiplication. That's the only way to live life. You be a person today who understands that you never ever do anything on defense, because people who are on defense are just sitting and doing nothing. I'm doing something here. I'm giving information. I've got strength. I've got over the next 72 years to live my life. Whereas I have to do more. I have to inspire more. I have to be around entrepreneurs. I have to understand that no matter what, I'm going to succeed today because I'm successful already. I understand I'm already better than this day. You need to be better than this day too. You have to understand that the vision is greater. You have to understand you have to overcome your demons. You have to overcome your adversity. And the best way is being number one in your life. Or else you have to be number one. You put yourself first. I promise you, it's the best way. I promise you, the best way is now. I promise you, do it now. You love yourself more, you give more information, and that way you'll understand multiplication, which is number one. And it's really make sure that you're a person who's better than yesterday. You have to understand that no matter what, you're going to repeat yourself, because no matter what, you're still going to help people. And that way you understand attention is right now. And to multiply your attention is just make sure you're growing in the moment. I mean, make sure you're learning skills, you're learning courage, you're learning abilities, you're learning talents, you're writing talents down, you're making sure you're giving people opportunities. I need you to give yourself an opportunity. I gave myself an opportunity here. I'm doing something now. I've got something all my life to do. I've got something to do all my life in terms of my passion. I need you to understand that time is your most valuable subject. I need you to understand that you are even more important than time. I need you to understand that time is either in your favor or against you. I need you to understand to race against time, to become a person who understands that time is on your side now. I need you to understand that you never work for others, you work for freedom. You work for something greater than numbers. I never care about $2, I never care about $1 trillion. I never care about that. I care about giving you 1 trillion courses. I care about that. I care about giving you 1 trillion aspects of life where you can get 1 trillion ideas. Promise you, that's rich. Promise you, you look at Jesus, promise you, that person never had $1. Promise you, never had $1 in his pocket. Promise you that you understand Jesus never had $1 in life. You understand that you never work for $1, because you just make sure that you give some wisdom today and never price yourself. And never price your book, because you can see Jesus' Bible never priced his book. You don't understand that Jesus never priced his book either. I see no matter what, that there is no failure in me. I'm not a failure, because guess what? There is no failure in communication. You need to be that person. You need to be that person who's better. You need to be the person who's stronger. You have to be the person who's better than yourself. You have to understand that's number one. You have to understand the number one person who's better than yesterday. You have to understand it's the only way to go. You have to understand the only way is now. You have to be something greater. Thank you very much. You have to be that kind of person who understands the I factor, which is I have a dream. I is number one. I need to, I love you. I love you, I love you. I love you. I start with the number one first. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Whereas no matter what, you understand I is the principle of number one. Whereas when you look at the Roman numerals, you understand I means 3. Whereas although it means 1, you understand the I factor. I have a dream. I need you to understand that your dream is to be better than yesterday. Because if you're not better than yesterday, how can you be a leader then? You have to be better. You have to understand, you have to lead. You have to be much greater. You have to be a better version of yourself. I promise you, it can take you up to 5 years, and that's it. I promise you, it's really simple to be better than yourself. I promise you, just understand life much better, because it's a process. You understand that no matter what, the being better than yourself is a lifelong process. I promise you, although that the tipping point is up to 5 years, you can become better than yesterday. I promise you, it's really easy. And then from that point, you progress and you become better each day. You become better than yesterday each day from that point. You understand? It's that simple to multiply the numbers. Whereas each and every single day, I multiply my numbers. I do 3 hours every single day, and I get tens of thousands of people every single day. And guess what? That's compound interest, because more and more people are seeing me, and more eyes. And the more and more eyes, I promise you, that's called compound interest. Or else that the only important number in life is number 1. I don't care about the number that's other than 1. I don't care about other numbers, I care about number 1. I care about being better than yesterday. I look to see who's number 1 in life and who's number 2. Or else I'm number 1, I'm never number 2 because I'm better than yesterday. Or else I'm always in my heart, I'm always doing something of quality. I'm always doing something that's going to give me a better attitude. Or else that is the only point of reference that you need to realize to invest in your attitude in a better way. You have to understand you have to invest in a better vocabulary, you have to speak more, you have to lead more, you have to be more confident, you have to be in front of people, and you have to understand you are worth it. You have to understand that you can do it each and every single day. You have to understand to lift yourself. You have to get off the drugs because the drugs is going to keep you down. I promise you, the drugs kept me down. I quit cigarettes after 7 years of struggle with cigarettes. I promise you, no matter what, here I am, a person who's quit cigarettes for 2 years now. I realize that no matter what, I'm a person much greater than drugs, I'm much greater than numbers. I'm just the number 1 person. I'm number 1 in my heart with Jesus, and I understand that Jesus is someone even greater than me. You have to understand, you have to always learn from Jesus. You have to learn from everybody. You have to learn all your programs. You have to be your own type of definition, which is you are unique today. And you have to understand your face is only number 1. Your face is number 1 because guess what? There's only one of your faces today, and you have to brand yourself. You have to put yourself on camera. You have to understand your brand is your face. You have to understand you need to up your legacy. You have to understand your legacy matters, and you have to do it now, and you have no other way to do it other than now. You have to understand that it's only now that you can start public speaking now and start leading people now. And you have to learn more information to do so. You have to understand you need to learn more and more, and you can eventually do it. You have to understand it's really open your mind. You have to open your mind, you open doors only. You never close them, you open doors, you forgive. You never close the doors because if you close the doors, you are falling into resentment. You never need to close doors, you need to open them only. You should understand to open the door is to allow. You allow life, you allow to forgive yourself, you allow yourself to make a mistake. Well, I make many mistakes because there is no such thing as a mistake because I'm growing. I'm just growing all the time. I'm always growing. I mean, there's no failure in life. Well, there's that people are on the defense all the time. Understand, I'm not on the defense, although you understand that most people are on the defense. Whereas when you're on the defense, you understand you're always going to be sitting down and doing nothing. Whereas I'm always doing something. I'm on the offense today. I'm on the offense for 3 hours every single day, public speaking in front of people. I'm on the offense about this. Whereas I'm not on the defense. Whereas if I was on the defense, I'd be home sitting and watching television. Whereas I'm on the offense in front of people today. I took action. I took action today. I invested some action today. Alright? I have to invest more action to be better. I have to be better, I have to be better because multiplication is 1. Realize that when you can see your timetables, realize that the timetables is, are you better than yesterday? I mean, are you better than yesterday? I mean, achieve a better you. Realize that's personal development. I mean, it's being your best version. That's the best way. You can't do anything. You do that with your heart. You do that with everything. You have to lift all the time. You gotta lift. You have to understand, you have to lift yourself to greatness. You never lift yourself to failure because there is no such thing as failure. You have to understand that with your heart, your numbers is your heart. And when you use your heart, you're using your emotions, you're using every single fiber in your being, which is your energy. You're using your energy. You have to increase your energy every single day. You understand? You have to have more energy throughout time. I mean, make sure that you're blocking most of life where it's not helping you. You understand? You never block people though. You understand? You make sure you grow people. You grow life. You understand? You never block people. You just grow them. You understand? That you never block anything that's helping you. I mean, information, you never block it. You just make sure you stay away from negative information. You understand? That's the best way. You have to understand that the information will help you when you have more of it. I promise you, the best way to learn information is learn more. I promise you, that's the best way. And then you'll find your way. You'll find your way. You have to train yourself to grow. I promise you that for the first 5 years, I read for 1 hour. I promise you, the 6th year, I started to up my level. I went to 1.5 times. I started to read at 1.5 times speed. I started to read at 2 times speed. I started to read at 3 times speed. I started to read at 3.5 times speed. I realized now I can compound it. I realized now I can read 35 hours a day. I can read 35 hours a day straight up. You have to understand that it's really, I read 10 hours times 3.5. I realized that it's really easy to multiply into 1. I realized that real estate is not important. For what's important is information. For you may have 50,000 real estates. I may have 50,000 courses to teach you something. Or I'd rather teach you something than have 50,000 real estates. Or I'd rather have 50,000 courses or 50,000 hours than have 50,000 units. Or I promise you, I'll teach you something. I promise you that the units is self-pleasures. I don't care about that. I care about teaching you. I care about wisdom. I care about something that's going to grow you. I promise you, when there's no wisdom, you never go. I promise you that life is wisdom. Although you understand that only 1% of the people can lead you. You have to be around it. You have to understand to go give your money to seminars and go and learn and be around positive people and lift yourself every day. You have to understand that you are not made to be on the street. You're not made to live on the street. You're made to be better. You understand? You have to understand you have to do better. You have to be on offense. You have to understand to be on offense is get yourself out of the street and start living a life greater. Because guess what? I promise you, life is going to knock you down. You have to lift yourself up. I promise you, life tries to knock me down. I mean, life's face right now, and I'm saying you must lift now. You must lift, otherwise life is going to kick you down. I promise you, I must encourage now to motivate myself to grow. Because guess what? Life is going to kick you down. I'm not going to kick you down. You have to understand that life will kick you down if you're not encouraging life to lift up. I promise you, you have to be strong. You have to be stronger than ever. You have to be stronger than ever to lift and encourage people to grow. Because guess what? You're worth it. You have to understand that it's a journey. I promise you that growth is a journey, and growth is number one. I promise you, growth people aren't better than yesterday. You have to understand there's always a better way to live life. You look at each and every single person in the eye, and you say hi. You say, I love you. You have to understand, to say hi, you say, I say hi. I say hi. I love you guys. So thank you very much. Because that is the whole point of the dictionary. I promise you that you give no rejection. You just give some ideas. You give something that's worth it. You can see and you can understand what's going on. You'll understand that when the crowd walks together, I promise you that they don't care about you. I promise you who cares about you is you only. I promise you that here I am, and you guys who are watching me today, or else that you guys who are watching me, you guys are not helping me to lose. You have to understand that no matter what, I'm helping myself here. Or else that when I ask for help, I come here and I do my public speaking speech. And who's around me? I mean, where's my wife? I don't care about her because she's not even here. Do you understand? I mean, I don't have a wife, I don't need a wife. I've got my wife right here. I'm my own wife. I'm my own husband. I'm my own brother. I'm my own everything. You understand that I'm all I need in this life. Whereas I take responsibility and I never complain about life. I never complain. I just do. I just do. I do. I do. I do. I am doing right now. I'm doing something to better my life. I'm doing my communication every single day. I'm making sure no matter what, I thrive in life. I thrive. I never strive. I never survive. I thrive throughout life. I just lift really easily. I do something really quickly. I make sure no matter what, I'm always lifting myself, and that way I'm never going to be a failure. Because I'm lifting, I'm always growing. I mean, how can I be a failure when I'm growing? I mean, communication skills is growth, so learn more of it. You have to learn more, you understand to write more books. You understand that when I write books, I write journals. I write journals. Portia, that's all my books. Portia, I just write a journal. I don't care about the books. I don't care to price one book. I don't care about pricing an ebook. I don't care about ebooks. I care about journals. I care about writing my journal every single day, about how did I do today. I like to self-reflect. I love to intentionally grow, because here I am today, and I realize that John C. Maxwell taught me, you must intentionally grow. You must throw yourself into growth. You must be that kind of person. You must be that kind of person to throw yourself and grow yourself all the time. You have to lead yourself to greatness. You have to be greatness. Each and every single aspect of your life must be great. Probably no matter what, you be a person who's never a banana, never needs to be like this, and needs to be strong. I need you to understand to lead. I need you to understand to never be a squashed banana. I never need you to do that. I need you to understand to go and lift people. I need you to understand to go and be something more than spaghetti legs. I never need you to slumber and do this. I need you to be greater. I need you to understand more awareness. I need you to understand you leave room for improvement up here. I need you to understand you need more to grow. You have to look up. You have to grow. You have to understand you look up. You have to understand you go and be a leader today. You have to do that every single day. You have to be more encouragement today. You have to understand there's always a better way to do something greater. You have to understand that you are a person who must be smarter than you are. You must learn to grow. Probably I'll teach you guys how to grow. Probably if you're watching all my videos and you watched up to this point, probably you are somebody great. I promise you, you guys have learned so much knowledge. Probably you need to learn more knowledge. I promise you, knowledge is free. I've got over 350 hours of courses over here for free. I've got over 25,000 courses in terms of quotes. You can go read every single idea I ever gave. You'll just be filled with wisdom. You'll be filled with ideas. You need more ideas every single day. You have to grow and be more positive. I thank you very much. You have to be that type of person who understands there is a greater way to live life. And the greater way is you in a better direction. You have to understand you have to be a greater you. You have to always do greater, sir. Thank you very much. You always have to do something much greater than yourself. You have to understand to respect yourself and respect your temple. Otherwise, it's never about alcohol. It's never about drugs. It's about giving. You have to give. You have to understand. I've seen so many people who are really, let's say, unsuccessful. Although you understand that no matter what, you be successful because you're still living today. You understand that you have to always live. You have to understand you have to always live yourself. You have to understand no matter what, that life is to be lived right now. You have to live right now in order to understand compound friction in the moment. You have to understand that friction is any other number except for 1. And you should understand to put yourself first and never lift other people, because other people will never satisfy you. Promise you, what's going to satisfy you is yourself to grow and be the best version of yourself. Promise you, that's the best way. You learn to grow each and every day to do better and better and better. Promise you, that's the best way. Promise you, the best way is delayed gratification. Do something each and every single day to improve your life. Promise you, the only number that matters to me is number one. I need to number one everything in life. Because guess what? I only grow. You understand? I grow, and guess what? I only number one the number ones. I only number one those people who are growing. Promise you, number twos, I label them number two. You have to understand, you have to label people as number one or two. Promise you, when they're better than yesterday, promise you, number one. Promise you, when they're worse than yesterday, promise you, number two. You have to be a person around the 1%ers of the world. You have to be that person who understands the greater life. You have to be that person who understands that when you look at jealous people, you understand, you just grow them. You grow the haters. Promise you, let them look at you, you give the free ideas, you be generous, because that's the best way. Promise you, courage is generous people. You have to understand, you have to be generous, you have to be a person who is never degenerating in a negative manner. You have to understand to degenerate in a positive way. You have to understand to go and never degrade yourself. You have to understand you go and be someone who's really going to be an inspiration. You're going to be someone who is going to understand that every single number in the world is just one. You be that person who understands that you're going to lift people today. You're going to do something much more than yesterday. You're going to do something that you've never done because it's worth it. You have to understand you're worth it today. To understand you can encourage someone today, and you can be kinder today. You can understand you can be kinder today. You can do some more fashion. You can do some more of what you need to do to be greater. You have to understand that greatness is key. You have to understand that greatness is you. Today, you must be greater. You have to understand you must be greater than greatness. You have to understand that no matter what, you always have to be doing better. I never limit myself anymore. I never limit myself to the person I am, because I'm always better in my life one way or another. I'm always making sure I'm doing something that's going to help me to succeed. I have to succeed more and more to make sure that my life is in front of people. So no matter what, I've given you guys knowledge, although guess what? I've also received more knowledge, and I'll receive more by watching my video after this, because I've watched each and every single one. I watch each and every single one of my videos after I finish. I only arrive in a better way. I never finish anything. I'm still learning my own content. I'm making sure I'm learning what I say. I'm learning each and every single word in the dictionary, because that way I understand I'm going to do much better in my vocabulary. I'm looking at people, I understand friction is no more. You have to understand there's no friction, although you go into the pressure. You go into the pressure of life with your feelings. You have to understand that when you hear pressure, you hear friction. You go into friction with your feelings. That means you have no friction anymore. That the feelings will absorb everything. You absorb everything, and you absorb everything positively, right? The feelings can always speak for you. That you can let go, and that's also called multiplication, because forgiveness is key. And if you're resenting, it's because you are not growing. I promise you that those people who are growing are the ones leading, so make sure that you're leading today and doing something today to improve your life. So make sure no matter what, you guys can see my skills, and make sure no matter what, I'm always here to improve you and give you some more courage. You have to understand that courage is encouragement. You have to understand that in order to encourage people is also to have courage. You have to understand, to motivate people is to be disciplined. You have to have discipline every single day to encourage more. You have to understand you have to show up every single day. You have to be punctual. You have to be showing up for your work every single day, because I have 24/7 work where I must be better than yesterday. I must be doing better than yesterday. I must put myself in pressure and in pressure to grow and grow much more than myself. Because that way I'm the best version of myself right now. I'm in the prime of my life. Because no matter what, I have to keep it up. I have to keep it up every single day. I have to understand I always have to keep myself doing better. I realize if I arise and I'm worse than yesterday, I'm not worse than yesterday, I'm better than yesterday. Although you understand that if you're worse than yesterday and you wake up worse than yesterday, I promise you that's the worst aspect of life. You've got to be the best aspect of life today to understand that it's really, when you wake up and you have something to do that's really your passion, you're going to say, I thrive today. I thrive today, I'm something greater than I am. I realize that I'm always doing some heartless work. I'm always giving some heart today in terms of ideas and information to understand there is a better way in I to make sure I have a dream. I love you. I factor is everything. I thank you very much. You have to use your I more. Promise you, it's everything in life. I have a dream. You have to always have a dream. You understand? You always have to understand that I is going to increase your confidence. I need you to sing I with twinkle twinkle. I need you to understand that it's going to help you to increase your I. You have to understand your I is your confidence. I need you to have an I factor in your life more and more and increase it. You can understand that I sing I so much because it increases my confidence. I need you to understand that what increases your confidence is multiplication. You have to understand. it's compound interest. You have to understand it's money. You have to understand money is wisdom. And you understand that when you're a person who's reading information, you understand it's going to improve you in all aspects of life, and it's going to really balance you out to become all that you can be. You have to always make sure, no matter what you're doing, you're strong in emotions and you're also lifting. Because guess what? 3 hours ago, I was weaker than this. I'm now stronger because I'm in front of people speaking for 3 hours. I'm stronger now because guess what? I practice more. I practice more in front of people. And you also have to do the same. I promise you, it's very easy. I promise you just have to leap into it and you have to do it yourself. I promise you, nobody else is doing this for me. You have to do it also. You have to understand you have to push yourself. Thank you very much. You have to be that kind of person who's always positive. You have to understand, do something that's really going to increase your likelihood to thrive. You never survive in life. You're never a person surviving. You're a person who's never on the defense either. You're a person who's really on the offense. You're always attacking. You're scoring goals. You're never attacking people in a negative manner. You're on the offense though. You're making sure you're never attacking. You're never reacting in a negative way. You're doing something that's really going to broaden your aspect of life in a way that you're going to be broad with your emotions. You're a person in emotions right now. You're doing something that's really going to lift. You're going to do something that's really going to be positive. And that way you understand freedom. Once your freedom is in the heart. Once your freedom is in your I realize freedom is in your imagination, which is this moment. I promise you that everything you need is this moment to succeed. I promise you, it's just write it out. I realize you have to write out your plans. You have to write out what you need to do. You have to plan it. I promise you, can never do it in your head. You have to write it down. You have to write everything down. I promise you that as soon as you write everything down, you have to catch upon that writing it down. When I say you have to write it down, you have to catch it. You have to understand, you go do it. I can never do it for you. Well, as the Zig Ziglar said, that I had to go and stay away from all the franchise foods and most of the food out there to lose weight. And I started to take action. I took action. I invested in action to lose the weight. Because I heard Zig Ziglar say, you have to stay away from most of the food. So I went to study food. I made the University of Supermarkets my university. And I started to look at everything in the label. Project, that's called offense. This is called offense over here. I'm an offensive person in terms of growth. I have to be on the offense to grow. I have to intentionally grow because growth doesn't just happen. Growth doesn't just happen. Most people get old over time. You have to get younger and younger throughout time. You have to be a person who understands younger and younger and younger theories, which is live in the moment and make sure no matter what you're writing more. That the more you write, the smarter you get. You have to produce more content. You have to understand content is key. You understand that content will help you. I understand more people when I look at them. I understand myself more and more and how I react with people when I look at them. I understand that I'm learning about how to be around people also right now. And you should understand that it's very much a big deal to even come on the street and do some public speaking today. Because guess what? Each and every time you do so, you learn new aspects of new facial expressions and new movements, and you also feel stronger in front of people. I promise you it's worth it. I promise you it's worth to love your life much greater than yourself. You have to understand you go and love much greater, and you'll understand the Bible says, love thyself. You have to love yourself all day long. You have to understand it's really about courage. You have to understand to encourage is to build your courage. You have to understand you build your courage every single day. You have to understand you go and build yourself into a better person, and you understand what complex material is in terms of simplification, which is never be complex. I mean, there's never a problem in life. I promise you that all the problems can be solved. I promise you just have to have more information. You have to understand that you have no problems in life. I promise you simplify it already. I promise you just think no problems in life. I promise you never think in life, you just have no problems. You just write out all your problems on paper, you write out all your problems and you remove it. I mean, just stay away from it, please. I mean, if 9-to-5 job is a problem, you stay away from it. I mean, if this person is a problem, you stay away from it. I promise you that whatever's a problem in your life, stay away from it. Realize that you stay away from it. Realize that no matter what I means you're going to increase your confidence. I'm better than my words, I'm better than what I say. I realize that no matter what, that when you're speaking more, you encourage yourself to live. I realize that you have to stay away from what is hurting you. You have to understand that when you have no I in your place, I realize that you have no life. I realize that those people who have no life are the ones lowering themselves because they forget the I. I mean, you have to know yourself. So to know yourself, you have to increase your I. You have to speak more to understand yourself more. Promise you, it's that easy to grow. Promise you, it's that easy, and that's why I grow so much. Because in my communication, you go and write down in your notepad how many I for ideas have I had in this section. I realize that you write over 1,000 I's in this beautiful video. You understand? I has so many aspects of life to give you. I understand. I have a dream because I'm going to succeed because I'm successful already. And that's the only deal, I promise you. That you're never going to succeed, you're going to succeed right now because you're successful now. You understand you're only successful now because you understand no matter what happens, you can turn up the friction, which is your I, and you understand I promise you, when you do that, you have no friction. I promise you, there's nothing of a limit in life because any limit that you make, you can break it. You can achieve more than that friction that you have. You understand that there is no friction in life unless you're in pressure, and pressure is going to grow you. So make sure no matter what, you're more in pressure anyway. You have to be more in pressure, and you have to understand your wording. You have to understand who you are. You have to understand there's always something more you can do. You can always do something more. I have a friend over here who's going to realize he's going to start his performance over here, although you understand that no matter what, that you are your only friend. I mean, make sure you're never losing yourself in other people because your only friend is you. And the only friend that's ever going to lift you is you. You have to understand, you have to take action. And you have to invest action today to lift yourself. I give you the information. You have to do it yourself. I promise you, I can never do this for you. Or else you have to go and public speak for yourself also. You have to understand it's important every single day to be always doing better. You have to do better, you have to live better, you have to make sure you're always promoting yourself one way or another. Or else you have to be smarter than before. You have to have your I factor inside of you. You have to understand the I factor is right now. You need to understand every single time you do something, you're going to finish with your I have a dream. I have a dream. I have a dream. You have a dream today, you must be better than yesterday because I must be better than yesterday and I'm here to be better than yesterday because that's the only leadership. The only leadership today is doing better. You need to understand my body posture is doing much better today because here I am again. I will be here tomorrow at 2 p.m. again. You understand? You guys must do better. You must do better to understand multiplication. You must do better to understand you can do it. You can understand what I mean. You understand? Because when you're a person who's really growing, you understand leadership. You understand that it's growth and skills and information that's going to get you there. Firstly, what am I doing today? I'm growing much better than yesterday. I'm doing much better. I'm faster than ever. I'm really athletic. I have to be athletic. I have to be more than I am. Because you have to be fast. You have to learn how to do that. You have to learn information. You have to learn your heart much more. You have to understand your I factor is now. You have now to do everything. You have a long life. I promise you, it's a long life to live. You have so much time to make sure that your life is going to be better than yesterday. I promise you, whatever you are today, must be better. I promise you, must be better. I only accept you when you're better. I promise you, no matter what, because I'm here to grow you. I'm here to grow you. I'm here to be your friend. I'm your friend because guess what? I'm better than yesterday. I'm the person who's going to lead you. I'm the person who's going to give you some ideas. Because I'm just giving you ideas for free. I mean, you have to be that kind of person each and every single day. You have to understand there's always something of a favour in life where you can grow. You give people favours. You give people ideas in favours. You have to understand that when you're giving favours, you're giving your love. You have to understand you give your love more. You give some more complication methods in simplification, which is ideas. You understand that you never complex anything. You never do anything complex. You just make sure that you never have complication in life. You just be a person who's simplified. And number one, you understand the one theory is be better than yesterday. And you understand that the one rule today is one step at a time. Whereas the one is one day at a time. Whereas it's really easy to become better than yesterday. You can do it within 5 years. Whereas it's so easy. Whereas you just have to write more. You have to produce more. You have to listen more. You have to open your heart to information. You have to open your mindset to information. You have to do something that you've never done. You have to understand to go through the fear. You have to understand the fear is a lie. You understand you have an ego, and the ego is a lie. I promise you, it lies about you, and it's about you right now. So make sure no matter what, you're doing better. Because guess what? Your critic is in your head. And your critic is going to say, I need the donut. Although I never need a donut, because guess what? The donut is no good for me. You understand? You stay away from it. Stay away from donuts because it's full of sugar. I promise you, it's full of white sugar. And you stay away from white sugar because that's how you overcome your demons. I promise you, that's how you increase your energy. You stay away from sugar. You stay away from animal food. I promise you, you're going to boost your energy. I'm a vegan. I'm a person who's a vegan. I understand when I stay away from animal food, I have so much more energy. I'm so much more viable. I have so much more sex performance. Whereas when I have sex performance, I'm a person who has high energy because to have high sex is to have high energy. And you should understand high consciousness is high energy. I promise you, the more energy you have, the longer you live. I promise you, that's the whole deal with courage. I promise you, it's about encouraging, and you have more courage today to live life. You understand? You be a person today who's understanding that no matter what you're doing today, you're going to do something of interest, you're going to do something of passion, and I'm much more confident than before because I put myself here, I'm making sure every single day I promote myself every day. And when I do so, I'm worth it to be in the spotlight. I'm worth it because here I am. I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it in front of people because I'm deserving of a beautiful way of life. I thank you very much. You're the only person today. You're number one. I thank you very much. Brothers, no matter what, that only one person grabbed my beautiful business cards today. You understand the one factor is multiplication. And those people who understand multiplication will also pick up my business card today and will understand I do freedom work. I do something for free today. I make sure no matter what, I'm always doing greater. I'm always doing something of a favor to make sure I'm kinder. Because when I do a favor, I give you 350 hours of content and I give you over 25,000 quotes for free. You understand what that is. I give you all my journaling. I give you all my planning methods. I realize that just like Nikola Tesla has his journal, I have my journal too. I thank you very much. Because no matter what, you just be a person who understands more in your life. You have to understand there is always a better way to do what you're doing. You have to understand that it's all got to do with numbers. You have to understand that numbers is teaching. It's not how much money did you make today. I mean, how much courses did you make today? I made over 350 hours of courses. How about you? I realize I've got something to sell for free today. I realize I help you today. I realize I'd rather listen to someone who has 350 courses such as I than those people who have no courses to give. I realize I've given something. I've contributed in some way, I'm better than yesterday for it, and I'm growing here right now. Even though others are rejecting me, I get some validation here and there, I only rely on I only rely on something greater than I rely on Jesus Christ. I follow Jesus Christ because I understand Jesus Christ. I understand Jesus Christ and I rely on Jesus Christ only. Because guess what? I understand Jesus Christ's lifestyle. I understand that you must follow Jesus Christ because I do. Otherwise, no matter what, I go much better than that. I mean, I realize that no matter what, I must always do better. I'm much more pumped than yesterday. I'm feeling much more better. I understand that it's really about confidence, and confidence is key. Confidence is everything that's going to help you to succeed today. So be that kind of person who understands greatness. I promise you, greatness happens now. I promise you, those people who are great are doing everything in the moment. You ready? I thank you very much, guys. I have another person who's ready to start over here. It is nice, beautiful music. I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys can find me on Instagram. I have over 350 hours of content. I'll realize that you guys can share them around for free. I'll see you guys in the next video.